Hello and welcome to Yarn ChickHen with Mrs. T and friends. I'm Mrs. T and we're all the friends. This is Vlogmas day 12 now. Woohoo! And boy, have I had a busy day today. This morning, I had to go and get my flu jab. That was actually quite uneventful. The NHS is brilliant. Went in. They had everybody taken in an orderly fashion. I was in and out so quick. It was like a blink of an eye. It was fantastic. They were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Before we knew it, we were on our way back into town. When we got to town, and then that's when it all went a little bit squiffy.
Pear-shaped.
Yeah. Went into Boots just to get a couple of things. Could I find anything? Nope, they're out of this. They're out of that. They're out of everything. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. And it was like, what the? Yes, Mr. T.
Boots is like CVS in America, is that right, would you say?
Or Walgreens.
Or Walgreens,
yeah.
it's our pharmacy that also has a bit more than just pharmacy. But in the old days, Boots, you get everything at Boots. Boots was the place to go to, even when you got here, wasn't it?
And it was always really good quality.
Yep.
It was anything you could think of that you might need, they would have had it there. I mean, you just couldn't buy a car there practically. I mean, very good. But now you go in and they don't hardly have anything. The people working there today, they were more
numpties.
They were more concerned about having a chat with each other and saying how cute they thought their Christmas jumpers were than helping customers. And then when they did help you, they pushed us through so fast. Yeah, it was
disaster.
It was a bit of a disaster.
The two products you went to get, they didn't have.
Yeah.
And then I got a deal for two for £8. I went to pay. I thought I could use my points, and she said no, I can only use points on half of them. So she rung it up at full price. So we didn't get a deal. Lost my points. Not happy.
Yeah.
Not happy. That's not the Boots that we know.
No, normal. If you go in there, they'll say, well, you know, if I use your points, then you'll have to pay full price for both you won't get the deal. So, but if you pay, because you don't have enough points to pay for both of them, if you pay cash, then you'll earn the points for them and you can get the discount. She didn't say that. She just said that, and then she rang it through before he even answered her yes or no. But by then I was like, okay, I guess he's yes, because she didn't even give him a choice. That's the thing that really wound me up, is that she asked him a question and then did it anyway.
Yeah.
And so it was like...
talking about Boots, it was there a couple of weeks ago, was it? I had to go and pick up 2 packages because we did an online order. It told me I had 2 packages on my app. It told me on my messages I had 2 packages. So I went there and asked for the packages. So the woman goes away, trundles back wearing another Christmas jumper, and she gives me 1 package. It felt light, so I went away and I had a look. Thankfully, Mrs. T has instilled into me to look at packages and the prescriptions, all that sort of thing, before you leave the premises in case there's a problem. So I did look, and I thought, uh-oh, we're missing something. Then I read the package, and it said multi-pack package 1 of 2. So I went back and I said, excuse me, you're missing a package. No, there's only 1. I said, well, it actually says 2 here, and the app says 2. Well, there's only 1. So thankfully another woman came and realised that this woman had made a mistake, so she went and got it sorted out. But the other woman just carried on, yeah, no apologies, no nothing.
Insistent that you only had 1 package.
And I was in the wrong. So
even though you proved to her that you should have 2 packages, she was insistent that there was only 1.
So Boots, you've shot yourselves in the foot. I tell you, you've gone way downhill.
Yeah,
Used to
and
be
then
a
we
British institution, not anymore.
We walked over to Savers, and it was almost the same thing over there. They didn't have anything, but although Savers never, brags about having lots of stuff. But usually we can save ourselves. If Boots doesn't have it, Savers does. But they didn't either. I mean, we just didn't have any luck.
And then another shop now didn't have it.
Then we went to B&M, and they didn't have what we were looking for. And it was like, all I was looking for was normal, original chapstick. It used to be all over the place, and now it's like nobody seems to stock it anymore. And so we'll probably end up having to order it online, because I just want original chapstick.
Non-flavored lip balm.
And it's non-shiny. It's nice. It's just and I can't find it. I don't want strawberry. I don't want cherry. I just want original chapstick. And that's one of the things I was looking for. And the thing is we've been in and out, in and out, in and out, and I keep seeing them everywhere. And I was like, this is great because I really like that. I'm glad they're starting to sell it here. And then when I go to get it, I mean, I still have some because I bought some the last time I saw it. So, ooh, they have it. I'm going to get that. And nothing. So, anyway, so then we got home after all the sad sack shopping that we didn't actually do because it was didn't end up having to buy much because they didn't have what we were looking for. So we came home and got cheered up right away because we remembered, yeah, it's my works due lunch Christmas party. Woohoo! So we went there, and I don't know if you remember me telling you yesterday that there was a choice of 3 courses. And you could either have all 3 courses, or you could choose a starter and a mains, or you could have a mains and a dessert, or you can have all 3. So guess which ones we got. And now for the Scottish word of the day. Over to you, Mr. T, and say it with all your Scottishness.
And today's Scottish word of the day, following on from yesterday, is loch. Not loch, but loch, which is, of course, a large body of water. England, of course, you will call it a lake. We call it a loch, which is from Gaelic, Scots Gaelic, Irish Gaelic. They have loch, L-O-G, L-O-U-T-H in Northern Ireland. But we say loch. Now, some of you might know Nessie, who's a Loch Ness monster. The reason she lives in Loch Ness is that Loch Ness is very deep. It's not the biggest loch in Scotland. That is, can you remember yesterday? By the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. It's the biggest by surface area. And it also separates the lowlands of Scotland and the Highlands of Scotland.
Oh, wow. Well done.
But Nessie, I think, would not live in Loch Ness. I think Nessie would live in Loch Morar, which is actually Scotland's deepest loch.
Oh.
And I think that's why she's gone hidden, because everyone's looking in the wrong bloody place. Like numpties.
Can I ask a question about that then?
Yes.
Are they all freshwater?
No. You do get sea lochs. When we were up in Orkney, we didn't actually go to any, but there's a lot of sea lochs that have the most beautiful sea trout in them. We used to go fishing in them. But no, you have lochs that are freshwater predominantly, but you do get seawater lochs too. Basically, it's any inlet. Large body of water can be an inlet. But we do have a natural lake in Scotland called Monifeith. And they reckon that when the cartographer was drawing the maps, he was bribed to say it was a lake and not a loch.
Oh.
But we also have a local loch here called Wraith Lake, which is a man-made lake, and there's 5 of them in Scotland. This one is teeny, it's on the Wraith estate, and it used to be a lovely little fishing hotspot until the guy who owned the loch, or the lake, decided that he needed to lower the water level to avoid paying taxes. Net result was there wasn't enough fish to make the fishing business profitable. They sold up and abandoned it. So one day we'll have a little walk round there and show you a beautiful little Scottish lake. Even though it's a loch, it's a lake. It's a loch. No, it's a lake. So there we go. That's Bonnie, Loch Lomond, and the meaning of loch.
Thank you very much. That's quite an education you gave us today. Very Scottish. When I told you to be Scottish, you were as Scottish as you could possibly be, weren't you?
Yes. Yes. Surrounded by your workmates, I think, from lunchtime. Got the Scottish in me.
Yeah, they really riled you up. You spend so much time with this American, you were around those Scottish people, and they were really getting you Scottish.
Scottishized again, yes. So, 2 meals, 3 courses, 2 courses. What did you have?
Well, this place is actually quite popular. And I was thinking, ooh, I'm going to have the 3 courses. You know, and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have this, this, and this. Well, I ordered my starter. I got it, and I thought it was the mains. I thought it was my main meal, and I thought, well, no, that's the starter. That's what they said it was. It was salmon and prawns, and I thought, holy moly, came in a plate that big. So, yeah, I only had 2. I had the starter and the mains, and I totally skipped the dessert. And what did Mr. T have? I wonder. What did he have?
Before we say what Mr. T has, let's have a little quick snappy montage of what we ate and what Mrs. T drank. So, yes, you're right. I had 3 courses. I had exactly the same as Mrs. T. I had the prawn and salmon, which was fantastic. I had the roast turkey, which was really nice. I had Mrs. T's Brussels sprouts, I'd like to point out. And the baby carrots were amazing. They were so tasty. That food was outstanding. We've been there for haddock fish we've had before, and it's been beautiful, and this was superb. The guy next to you had a steak pie, and the chunks of steak looked inviting. No wonder he had that.
Yeah.
But yes, so I had 3 courses. My third course was a wild berry sorbet, and you could taste the raspberries, and I'm sure blackberries were in there, but oh my goodness, that was fantastic. £33 mine cost, £28 Mrs. T's cost, and that's probably the best Christmas meal I've had for a long time.
It was very good, and I got a taster of his sorbet because I couldn't have the whole thing, but I just wanted a bit of a taster. Oh, it was really, really good. Really, really good. It was worth every penny paid for. It was really good. So we had a lot of fun, and there was a lot of sparkles and stuff like that going on. So we had a lot of fun. It was a good work stew. Very good.
And it was a wee hotel that's been refurbished a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And they made an excellent job. The staff are super friendly. We've been there a couple of times when Wraith Rovers, our local football team, has been playing, and we've forgotten that they're playing at home, which is ridiculous because we're sort of quite close to the ground. But we've gone in there and they've been full, but they've managed to squeeze us in, which I think has been nice. So yeah, they get 10 out of 10 from me.
10 out of 10 from me.
Perfect.
Very good.
And speaking of which, I believe someone is going to read us out a wee joke. And Mama Son, this is for you.
So, this will be coming up later in the Vlogmas, but we had Christmas crackers, and they're not the kind you eat.
No.
They're more of a, they look like an oversized sweet, like a hard-boiled candy that's been twisted, but it's actually a cardboard tube, and it's got a twisted ends, and you pull them, and when you pull them, it's got the same kind of things like in the cap guns where you snap it and it pop, pop, pop. They've got the same things. When you pull it, it pops, so it cracks. It's a cracker. Crack, crack. Yep. We'll demonstrate later on what a cracker is because we've got some, so we'll be able to demonstrate later on. But they're notorious for having things inside them. One of them is a crown, and one of them is usually a joke, and usually they have toys. These particular ones, apparently the restaurant only supplied us with the kind that don't have any plastic bits. Everything's biodegradable, so there was no toys or any kind of little presents that you normally
First
get.
time I've ever had a cracker that has not had a little puzzle or a little game or a little toy or anything.
I mean, I can understand them being eco-friendly, but you could still put in a paper puzzle or a,
Yeah,
you know, there's
you
lots
used to
of
get little metal symbols,
yeah,
all sorts.
There's lots of there's lots of environmentally friendly gifts that they could have popped in there. So I'm not sure why they didn't have anything, but they didn't.
Excuse me.
So
it's another case of shrinkflation.
Yes. This is a rant video, in case you haven't figured out. We've been on a little bit of a rant today. So if rants aren't for you, I apologize. But if you're having a bit of a rant day at Christmas time, trying to shop and do your stuff, and finding big brick walls in your way every time you try to do something really small and simple, then you'll understand the rant. You know, plus the fact that we paid for these crackers. It's not like they were supplied to us. We had to pay for these. And they were sort of, you know, a bit, well, they were a bit disappointing. Let's just put it that way. This is a joke for Mama-san. How does Santa measure the toys?
I don't know.
In centimeters.
Oh my goodness. Very good, very good.
Oh boy. Anyway, so not only is this Vlogmas Day 12, today is also the Advent Calendar Day 12 for the Knit Along with Buttercup Miniatures. And guess how much knitting I've gotten done? You're right, nothing, because I was too busy today to even touch the knitting. But now that we're filming, and after we're done filming, I'll probably go and do some knitting. Also, my crochet club is on tomorrow, which it's not just crochet, it's crochet club, but it's crochet and knitting and a lot of other yarny things. I mean, there's people who go in and felt and things like that as well. So any kind of yarny thing. But I'm going to be going to that tomorrow because it'll be the last one for this year. And I've missed the last few because time and it just hasn't. The days I can go, it's not on. The days I haven't been able to go, it's on. So I'm making sure that I go this week. So I'll be going in there tomorrow. So if I don't knit at all tomorrow or tonight, I'll definitely be knitting tomorrow. Right. So that's all I have to say for today. Is there anything else you need to say, Mr. T? Any more rants that you've been bottling up in your body today that you need to get out and purge?
No rants from me. You might want to say that Chewbacca.
Oh yeah, Chewbacca got some extra decorations today because he was really feeling extra festive. So I put some extra baubles on him.
He likes his little hanging balls too.
Baubles.
Baubles, sorry, baubles. Baubles. He likes his hanging baubles too.
When did you ever call them balls? I wish you could see him. I wish you could see him.
Oh, baubles. Is that the right word?
Oh, don't act like you never say baubles. Baubles is the word that most of the UK use for Christmas, what Americans call Christmas balls. And I think it's a lot more friendly to say baubles because it sounds more sparkly and more Christmassy, I think. Kind of like a bit of bling. Baubles. You know, balls, well, they could be yarn balls. They could be other kind of balls. They can be playing balls, footballs, you know. But a bauble, you know what a bauble is. If someone says a bauble, Christmas baubles, you know what they mean. And you know that too.
So Chewbacca has got hanging baubles on.
Yes.
Okay. You look very handsome, mate.
I don't know how you can make baubles sound dirty, but you sure did.
Mrs. T, I think the gin's got to you.
Okay, moving right along. Moving right along. Moving right along. If you've lasted this long, listening to the rants, I appreciate you watching this all the way to the end. Also, if you like, subscribe, and comment. That will really help out the channel. And I'd like to thank all my subscribers, the ones from day one all the way to any of the new subscribers we've gotten up until now. And really, quite frankly, any future subscribers that might be going in the back catalog and saying, oh, I haven't seen this. Although you might cringe, but that's okay. We have to start somewhere. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye now.